Thank you, Katrina, and good morning, Middlebury, and all of you out there in YouTube land. If you're watching online, don't touch that remote to fast forward. This pledge break is not going to harangue you to pledge right now and call and make your pledge. Listeners need to be persuaded. Christians do what their faith calls them to do. The members and friends of this church are especially faithful and generous. In this month's church life, you'll see a breakdown of the giving over the last 4 years. A regular core of families, which includes most of you out here and online, pledged each year. Others give regularly online. These people, which includes most of you, kept living their faith and supporting the church mission despite a recession, pandemic, separation, and stress. And we thank you. We could not have done it without you. Keep it up. And yet, each of those campaigns came up short of their targeted dollar goals. If stewardship were only about fundraising and numbers were the only measurement, that would be a problem. But stewardship isn't about fundraising. It's about faith. It's about wisely using all the resources that God has given us, which includes our skills and time as well as money, to further the mission of the church. And God provides us with all we need to fulfill that mission. What is that mission? Well, here's what our mission statement states. The mission of Middlebury Congregational Church is to witness to the gospel of Jesus Christ. To that end, the congregation is organized to accomplish the following: worship that glorifies God and celebrates the gifts of all people, God's people; growth and individual Christian discipleship through work and study; service to surrounding community in the wider world; and fellowship that strengthens the bonds of compassion and concern. We'll be talking about those 4 points, worship, growth, service, and fellowship, in the next few weeks. Today, though, let's look at some of the problems that we've had to take on to witness to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Life would be pretty dull if God didn't give us some problems to solve once in a while, because problems bring opportunities. In the 1790s, when this neighborhood was the West Farm section of Waterbury, the farm families had a problem. Every Sunday, they had to travel for hours on bad roads, especially in winter, to worship at the First Church of Waterbury. They built their own meeting house here on the green and petitioned for years until they were granted permission to form a church 225 years ago. Their next problem was a good one. The meeting house was too small for a growing congregation. They salvaged the stone steps and the bell and built a new church right on this spot. In 1935, they had a big problem when a fire burned down that meeting house. The bell crashed down from the steeple, shattering into pieces on the stone steps. The next day, members sifted through the ashes and began plans to rebuild. They recast the pieces of the bell into the one that you hear today. Since then, more good problems led to more opportunities. We outgrew that building again, so we added classrooms and office space and made it more accessible. About the time my family joined this church, its beloved longtime pastor moved on. That was a problem. People are passionate about their pastors, but it was also an opportunity. We searched long and hard for the right person. I think of that time as God answering our prayers by saying, be patient. There's a really good match out there coming your way, but she hasn't even made her career choice yet. At least she had been warned. That's true. The problem with the pandemic brought us an opportunity, too. We improved our online presence and technology, we upgraded our house of worship, and we learned new ways to work together. All these problems and their opportunities required more than money. Each took the time and talent and vision of our people to work together to solve a problem to further our church mission. So congratulations to all of you and your church family for being problem solvers. After church today, we'll have a family story time with Kobe Yamada's What Do You Do With a Problem during social hour. It's for kids of all ages, including us old kids. Come and join me, and let's talk. Thank you.